Before we begin, I'd just like to say thanks so much for watching. I let this channel slide for so long, happy with the progress and anime wins, but now that channel has started to massively decline, it's made me realise how important Anime Sins once was. In that vein, I'd love to kindly request your assistance in revitalising the channel. So please subscribe if you'd like to see more. I now do multiple different kinds of videos I genuinely think you'd enjoy, so check those out. And of course, liking, commenting and sharing is always massively welcome, plus my Patreon is linked in the description. I'm sorry for the monologue, but I wanted to personally reach out in a serious and meaningful way, as when I've done that in the past and been brutally honest, you've been there for me. Thanks, and I hope you enjoy the light-hearted humour and maybe some genuine sins in this video. This is more done for some exposition and filling the viewer in on part 1's events, but all the same, again as a former prison officer of 11 years, you'd classically not have someone conducting this kind of monologue whilst moving a prisoner. Your job is to move them from A to B. Everyone else is surprisingly chill that these two are taking an inordinate amount of time to get their food and get moving. Just how damn slowly did she tell her that piece of info for her to have finished her food in the meantime? Still shocked at how this weird prison handles uniforms? Something different for everyone! Oh, very anime go run cliche. Being able to wear the same clothes you wore outside prison, inside prison, but then just with a prison stamp. I'm so confused by this jail's policy on prison clothing. These two arrive on the scene and yet hear absolutely nothing of the pipe having been attacked continuously just now, or that the same pipe has at the very least sprung a leak and is completely busted up by something. Also though, this does often happen in JoJo. Everyone just pretty much forgets about the prior dangers they faced minutes ago and are casual and chill to threats around them. But I still love you, JoJo! She asks, having had it literally just explained to her. Also though, I couldn't have possibly timed sin number 63 any better. Look at how damn overly chilled she is at having just seen her mate's leg torn off and eaten in mid-air, and she's like, "Whiskey and none." No, it's just an invisible leg-devouring monster, you know, like they have all over Florida. This is one of those times where it's a sin and a win. It's good that she wants to protect her friends, but at the same time it makes no sense to send them away when they're all in the thick of it. Same on both channels. Let's all just go ahead and pretend we didn't see the very visible handprints on the outside of the pipe. F you, woman, making me look like a damn fool! One would think she wouldn't launch herself at him, given that if she felt like she was being touched and looked over to the closest person and he's like 4 or 5 feet away from you, doesn't make much sense that it was him. Literally a hypocrite, what the hell? Also though, you'd think he himself would know he couldn't have touched her. Her I can understand to a smaller degree, but him, he was touching her himself at the time. Is this woman stupid? The money is magically sliding out from his limp wrist and she's like, "Oh, this is normal, half hanging mid-air whilst money slides out of his clothing." What is actually wrong with your brain and or eyes though? How do you know that? You didn't know the guy before now, you didn't even know he existed until that very morning, and have yet to be told anything about the guy other than that he killed your mate's sister. How do you actually know that though? Really? Still saying that? This jail has increasingly weird practices. Now they've got a room open to inmates where they store the dead, just still in prison clothing, weirdly kind of half buried inside of the building. Amazingly, she couldn't find where they were during the entire lengthy fight until the very moment it was over and she called for her. Yes?
でも蘇らすってよ。ただの破片じゃないっすか。たった一個なんか蘇るっすかね。
Yeah, that's what he's asking you, my guy. He doesn't know if you can revive just a single bone. That's why he's asking you to do it, you dum-dum.
誰の骨で？
君には関係ない。ディオ。彼の骨はこれだけだし。
If you required zero convincing, why not just tell him who the bone belonged to when he first asked you 19 seconds ago?
10歳の時に近所のポルシェを分解して6ヶ月入院させられた。
That seems mildly excessive, and by mildly I mean extremely.
シャワーの時間だ。起きろ。FE40536。
奪われた記憶のディスクも。
おいお前、誰が立てと言った？
You did.
俺たち。
An uppercut to the face outside of her cell sprays blood into her cell.
人間が傷の痛みや恐怖を無視してあんなパワーやジャンプ力で攻撃してくるなんて。
You already know the answer to that. They aren't, which is why you correctly surmised that the stand was involved at the end of the last episode.
この監視もスタンド使い。こいつすでにディスクでスタンドの才能を与えられていた。
Losing 14 pints of blood and yet still going strong.
このままではこいつのスタンド能力の真の正体は。
Who are you talking to, though?
それとジョリーンとの結婚は取引したんだからな。お前はそれを忘れるな。
She didn't actually. She was more like, huh? What is he on about? Marrying who? Nani?
かわすのがギリギリだった。
You didn't dodge them though. You smacked them and hurt your knuckles. What you want, girl?
ホワイトスネークに近づくためなら何だってやるぞ。飛ぶ水だってすすってやるし、誰よりも強くなる。
Damn, girl. Those two things are insanely different though, you know?
どうやってここへ？間に合ったぜ。でもかなり危機一髪だったようだな、ジョリーン。
That doesn't answer her question though.
GG の腕が FF のコントロール方向から。
It just occurred to me that I should probably send the fact that no one else is on guard duty in this rather huge unit, and that, at the very least, no one has heard any of this commotion taking place and came to look. Thank God you're there, though!
その場を離れろ。隕石で破壊されてるんだ。ファンが落ちてくる。
おっと危険なのはファン本体じゃねえ。ブーメランだ。
Not being funny, but she did warn her to move away from there. Yes, from the wrong attacking object, but still, she just stayed in the exact same location.
Bullshit. Whoops. Whoopsie.
待て。その体でスタンドを出す気か。復讐の劇場に。
Love you, Hisoka, but yes, dude, that's very, very clearly what she's doing in front of you.
こいつが味方。こんな凄まじいことをやるやつなんて何者なんだこいつ。
Come on, it's no less awful than any of the other stuff these freaks have been doing to you and one another for the past few episodes.
能力を出したのか。
しかし記憶ゆえではありません。
I'm just over here wondering when elves got involved into the JoJo lore, some kind of the Lord of the Rings crossover I missed.
なんか文字みたいに見えないこの傷。
As much as I loved this on the Winds version, I don't get how anyone wouldn't be able to see that's her name.
さあやりなよ。つまずかせるんだ。
自分でやりゃいいだろ。そんなセクハラ。
Yeah, tripping her is definitely not sexual assault.
Whoops. Whoopsie.
小男だわ。小男がいた。
During this scene, I was more just thinking about why it was taking them so long to climb 6 more steps.
おい、てめえもう逃げられねえ。ゆっくりとこっちを向くんだ。
As opposed to quickly trying to take him out now whilst you have the advantage and take the bone.
何か飛び散ったぞ。こいつスタンド使いか。
She thinks he might be a stand user.
君がさっき奴の握っていた骨に糸で触れてしまったと思ったんだ。
Exhale and then inhale cliche.
さあ、この椅子におかけください。私がお靴を磨きますよ、ペロペロ。
She's just casually doing what it says, even though it's the enemy.
そうじゃなくてですね、葉を2つに折るんです。立てかけるんです。
This creepy ass thing managed to do all of this before those very quickly approaching boats, which looked very close just now, managed to reach them.
はい、顔に塗る。
Just how long is it taking them to reach them?
ジョリーン、植物は平気か？さっさと東へ進もう。日がさらに傾いてきている。
Shouldn't you wait for an answer first, though?
監視と囚人たちはどこへ消えたのだ。ほんの十数分ばかしだぞ。しかもこの散らばっている植物は一体。
They can go ahead and take a sin off for that. I didn't know in their time it had only been 10 minutes, so that's fair enough. It's unlikely, but it's still fair enough.
どこだ？どこに落ちた？あいつ意志があるのか？
He really wants to find it, but then when he does find it, he just stands there.
ジョリーン、そいつはどうやら君の左肩にあるその星のあざに興味をそそられて。
You assume so anyway, since you can't see it from the front.
1日で4万人だそうだ。開館は1793年。毎日4万もの人間がモナリザとミロのヴィーナスに引きつけられ、すごいと思わないか？
すごいというのは数字の話か？
そうではない。
I think his confusion is most reasonable when you keep going on and on about the 40,000 visitors, dude.
優れた画家や彫刻家は自分の魂を目に見える形にできるというところだな。まるで時空を超えたスタンドだ。
レオナルド・ダ・ヴィンチやアンティオキアのアレクサンドロスはスタンド使いかい？
No! You're taking it too literally, dude. It's just a funny thought. They weren't really stand users. God, this guy can't take a joke.
何してんだ？
よく知らない。
知らないじゃないだろ。
It is when you don't know.
やっぱこいつ植物ってこと？栄養？でもすぐ眠るんだよね。
She says the baby sleeps a lot, which I find confusing since they've only been dealing with it for like 40 seconds in JoJo minutes. I mean, considering the like 3 episodes in the prison was literally 10 minutes in their time. Also though, we haven't seen the baby sleep yet till now.
手錠は何のためにある？逃がさないためにあるんじゃない。屈服させるためにある。手錠は何のためにある？逃がさないためにあるんじゃない。屈服させるためにある。
Literally no, you're wrong. You can have it symbolically, but that's about it.
おはようございます、神父様。お髪が伸びましたね。
Yeah, and in just a few short hours no less. She's got a real bad case of the overly muscular forearm disease.
我がジェイルハウスロックから脱獄できる者はいない。お姉ちゃんにプリントアウトするんだ。じゃないとすぐ忘れてしまう。プリントアウト。
I'm just glad that her and the guard stood there and allowed for this quick little reunion to take place. Genuinely couldn't find any sins in these last few episodes, just loved what I was seeing basically. No long monologue here, watch another video if you fancy it, coming up in a few seconds. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon for brand new content. Chris Harris, Ted L, in Camion Water, Manuel Morales, Marquez, Nick Wyndham, Warkeeper, Steelers, The Ever Commander, Bird Without a Word, Blitzkyle, Brandon Krier, Game 2000, Kieran Robinson, Comfrey, Kim Hunt, Magnus, Matthew Castelline, Nathan Bird, Sean, Ali 50, Dark Lord Bloody Soul, Guru, Isel Caldera, Your Edvinson, Your Nashtal, Jordan Samuels, Jaffa 6263, Kelnock, Kepan, Kevin Melter, Benito, Luis Cruz, Matthew Blanchard, Matt the Marshmallow, 1928, Sentimento, Storm 970, The Element Taylor Wars.